friends, it's Unicorn Princess here, and welcome to the new background. This isn't the new background yet, this is actually my new living room. And you might be able to see covers and things in the corner because this is pretty much my only piece of furniture, is my couch, and this is where I'm sleeping right now because I don't have a bed. Anyway, I'll talk more about that later. On to more important things like the title of this video. So there's been the Facebook trend of the hashtag #MeToo thing, and I normally hate those things. I hate the Facebook trends and I hate the hashtag fucking everything. But this one I felt was maybe something I could chip in on. This video isn't going to be a big sob story. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the gory details of the horrible things in my life. More I want to talk about the positive things. But I'll give you a brief rundown. So, I've been abused multiple times in my life, but for the purpose of this video I'll just focus on alright, let me start again, because I don't know how to talk about it because it's not something that we talk about. It's not something that we talk about out loud a lot at all, and there's so many reasons for that. So I haven't ever really. There's some people that I've told, but it's not something everybody knows. It's definitely not something I've ever said publicly, and I want to keep it basic because my parents don't know. Well, my mum knows a little bit, but so the first relationship I ever had, I was 15, and he was older. He was quite a bit older. He was 18 and a bit. So he was my first love, and I'd never had a boyfriend before. I was with him for 4 years, and he was a manipulative psychopath. I know that in hindsight now. This isn't hyperbole. I mean, clinically, he's a psychopath. He's devoid of the ability for empathy and understanding suffering of others and blah blah blah, all that stuff. That's another story, but my point is that he was forcing himself on me from the moment that we were together, and at first I didn't even understand what was happening because he did everything smiling. And because he was older and because I was so besotted with him, I trusted him, and he told me that, well, we never really talked about it, things just kind of happened. And then the first time I ever said no, because stuff we did was never a discussion, it just happened when he wanted things to happen, and I never really questioned it. The first time I remember actually saying no, I was totally casual about it. I was like, no man, I'm in the middle of something, I'm focused. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. But then, picked me up and took me into his parents' room and blah blah blah, gory details. I'm not going to tell you the details, that's not the point of this video, I'm not going to go into the details. But I don't like the R word. I know it's stupid, I know that it's just a word. Shit. There you go. The circumstances that I lived in for about 4 years were physically, emotionally abusive, pretty much start to finish. But because I was so young at the start and so naive, I was brainwashed, essentially, which is why I stayed there so long. And he wasn't the last either. I had relationships after that And this is the thing, when you live with an abusive person, especially a manipulative abusive person, they change the way you think, and you don't even know that it's happening. It's crazy. So I had no level of respect for myself, and so I would let people treat me terribly because I expected it. So I ended up having other abusive relationships after that. And I'm not name dropping or anything. People that know me know who the people are. Let's just say out of the number of relationships I've had, 2 of them have been particularly abusive, and none recently. So, you know, any recent people involved, this is not about you. Don't worry about it. This is for me, between the ages of 15 to 18 with my first, and I had another relationship and that was fine. It's my 3rd relationship that was fucked up again. I know, it's crazy. Anyway, the stories themselves, the details are not important, because lots of people have lived with abuse, and there are, I guess, 3 main points that I want to make about it. The first point is that I don't hate men. all of the abuse that I've had has been from men in my life, but I love men. It's just not something that you can make an umbrella of. These men did this thing to me, so all men are awful. I love men, and you can't judge a collective by the actions of individuals. And I'm not willing to do that at all, because men have also been some of the people that have helped me the most in my life. So I'm not about to jump on the all men are evil, blah 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 hate train, because it's just bull. Not to mention, I know plenty of men who have also been abused, and who've been you know, inappropriately harassed on nights out, and who've had unwanted contact and just straight up sexual harassment and abuse. 2 men by men and 2 men by other women, and I've seen it happen, so it's definitely like multiple issue. My second point is I never went to court about what happened, which I regret, but there's a bunch of reasons for it. When I first got out of the relationship, I didn't know, because your brain does that. It convinces you of the things that you want to think and the things that they wanted you to think. So it's not always clear what happened until a lot of time has passed, and your brain gets to look at it and go, oh my god, that's this. I've been in therapy for years, and there are still things now that never occurred to me, which are insane because it's been a decade. And there are still things that I'm just like... The main thing that scares me even now about going forward with information is the legal system. When you take someone to court for sexual harassment, for abuse, for rape, I mean, they're going to deny it, probably, and then you have to stand up and describe everything in gory details. You have to have the defense paw through all of your personal history, and you have to stand up in front of a bunch of people while they call you a liar and tear you apart for some of the most horrible things in your life. Now, don't get me wrong, we definitely need the legal system to sort all of this out, because I've seen plenty of women go in court and accuse men of horrible crimes that they didn't commit for all kinds of stupid reason, and that's horrific. I think if you accuse somebody of rape and they do jail time only to later find out that you were lying, you should have to go and do that jail time, because that's life that they'll never get back, and reputation that can never be repaired. Because even after they've been released and their name's been cleared, there are still people that go, oh no, but you probably did it. So the reason that I haven't said anything about it is not because of men, it's because of the legal system tearing me apart in front of people, and not coming to terms with it, really. I feel like I've lost track of my points. My main point for all of this is that it's a problem. Obviously it's a problem. It's a problem for men, it's a problem for women, it's a problem for the young and the old and everybody in between, but it doesn't have to define you. It changes your life. It's completely changed my life. I have no idea what my life would be like now if these things had never happened, but they have happened, and I'm not gonna revolve my life around them. I think about it all the time. I can't not. I would rather not. And every time I get a new boyfriend, it's not that I have to tell them. I don't have to tell them. It's my business. It's nobody else's business. But there are things that I struggle with, and they have to. I feel like they have the right to know. If we're going to be involved, they have the right to know. But that's just the way I am. That's not to say that that's what everyone else should do. But it doesn't have to define your life. You don't have to be hung down by these experiences. Obviously they're awful, and obviously it's hard, really hard, but you can be you, whole and completely, with this in your life as well. If you're out and you're free and you're repairing your life bit by bit, then you should be you and express you and live your life the way that you want to live it, regardless of any of that crap. And you're going to come up against obstacles. Some things are going to be difficult. Some things might always be difficult. But don't let them be a weakness to you. Use it. I mean, I feel like I'm a strong person. There are plenty of things that happen in my life that I think are terribly unfair. There's been many times in my life where people that I have trusted have broken my trust. There have been plenty of times where people that I have loved have taken me for granted and taken my love for granted. And it's been difficult. I mean, my life has been difficult. This year has been difficult. If I hadn't experienced the things that I've experienced, if I hadn't lived through the things I've lived through and repaired myself through it all, I don't know if I would have the strength to deal with the things that come at me in life. I feel like I am a stronger person. I feel like I'm a fiercely strong person, and even though things are hard and I do react initially with the pain, I feel like I have an ability to brush myself off and just power on, because you have to. And I think you know that once you've lived through really horrible shit and you've survived, and you might be hurt but you're alive, you look at things differently. Things don't seem like they'll kill you every corner you turn. So yeah, I think that it's not that I'm saying I would have chosen them to happen, but I am stronger. I'm definitely more driven. I have this fierce desire to make things happen the way I want things to happen, and I think maybe that's because of my experiences in life. Anyway, I'm waffling, but my point to you, if you are a person or people who have been hurt by other people in any way, you have to experience the pain of it. That's like the first step. You have to allow yourself to live through the pain of whatever's happened so that you can accept that that's what it is and that it's happened. But once you've lived through the pain and once you've accepted it for what it is, you need to start building yourself up. You need to start moving forward and use your survival from this thing as more strength. It's like breaking a bone. Once you've healed it back over, it's 10 times stronger in that place again. You've got to use it to build yourself. Use it to move forward with your life. Don't abandon your need to mourn or your need to grieve or deal with your pain. That's just as important as moving forward. You have to do that too. But move forward. Use it to build yourself. Don't let it defeat you. and try to understand. If you're not a person who's experienced any of these things, it's going to be so difficult for you to stand in somebody else's shoes and imagine what it feels like, and nobody expects you to be able to know exactly what it's like, but all that I would ask from you, the person who hasn't experienced these things, is have an open mind. Try to listen and try to understand. Don't enable pity. Don't let people wallow in their own crap. It's not your responsibility, but don't let it happen. And care. You know, be a good person. Have a gentle heart. Care for your fellow man or woman, and don't judge people that you don't know what people have lived through. Don't judge people for their experiences, because you don't know somebody else's life. Anyway guys, that was hard. Harder than I thought it would be, but that is my story. It's my advice. I hope it was helpful. Please message me. Private message me if you need somebody to talk to. I am more than happy to talk to you. If I get an avalanche, I have no idea what I'll do, but seriously, like, I'll link numbers and stuff in the section below to speak to people if you want to speak to people. I only have numbers for like the UK and for Scotland, but they're not hard to find around the world. On to slightly different news. Like I said, this is my living room and this is my couch, and very soon, on the 27th of this month in fact, I will have a bed, and it means that I'll finally be able to start getting things into the house and making it ready, and all of my rooms are going to be themed, probably after Sanrio characters, so I'm very excited to finally reveal to you my flat tour once it's ready, and I might do a separate room tour. I might make it all one. I don't know, what do you think? Anyway guys, this was a long video. I'm sorry for waffling so much. Please like, comment and subscribe. Please comment, send me messages, I love them, and I will see you guys next time. Love.